Actually, hold on, Steve, if you can give us 3 to 5 minutes about the brief back. How did you implement it? How did you take ownership over that? And where did you see it work and be successful?
Yeah, so I've seen it work in just about every scenario out there, in combat when you're doing your pre-mission briefs and also during training. And the big thing between the military and just the business world, when we go around, a lot of people, the number one issue is communication. So what you're trying to do is alleviate, how you communicate as a leader to your people. You want to ensure the entire team is synchronized. And a way to do that is in through a brief back. And so a brief back can work in a couple different settings. If I'm the briefer or I'm the boss coming in, I would start it off by saying something like this. Hey, I'm the briefer for today, and I'm going to ask you all a few key questions at the end of this brief. And here's the deal. If you don't know the answers to my questions, that's not on you. That's on me as a leader. That means I didn't communicate it in a clear, concise manner. Right? And what you're doing is you're taking off the edge. You're letting people know to take some key notes, and you're going to ask some questions. It also works on the opposite end of that spectrum. So let's say, you're getting a brief from your boss or someone's up there giving a brief. What do they always say at the end of the brief? Are there any questions, right? I would be the dude standing up, holding up the notepad going, hey, boss, here's what I heard you say. Here's what I heard you transmit. Here's what was received on my end. And then I'd go through line by line what pertained to me, what pertained to my team, right? And again, that's a chance for the boss to come back and go, hey, that's not exactly what I meant. Let me clean that up. And the whole goal of it is before you go out on a mission or you're doing training, you want the entire team synchronized. And in order to do this, you've got to have a culture built within your team where people feel comfortable asking questions. And the way you get that culture is by establishing good relationships with your team within your organization, across departments, across separate divisions. And when you get that, people are going to ask you questions. And then guess what? Everyone's going to be on the same sheet of music. Everyone can dive in and knock out the mission. That's the goal. That's it. That's the brief back.
I just want to add one thing to that, and that is that, and by the way, Steve, if you don't know Steve's background, like Steve, came up to the ranks as an enlisted SEAL, and when he retired, he was the highest ranking enlisted SEAL out there. So he's seen that at the frontline troop level. He's seen that at the senior staff level as well, and that applies equally. But I think what that requires is the humility to recognize that that initial reaction that I know just about every one of you have, because I have it as well. And when you tell somebody to do something and they don't go do it, you're frustrated and angry with them. And the problem isn't them. The problem is actually you, because if people don't understand, they can't execute. So you need to actually be the test for whether or not you've done it right is that they get it. And it's just that simple. It doesn't matter how clear you thought you were. It doesn't matter how detailed you thought you were. And sometimes too many details is the greatest problem there. But you got to look at yourself first. So take that hard look in the mirror at yourself. And that's a brief back is a great way to make sure that people on your team understand. And everyone thinks that in the military, the best folks are just the Terminator robots that are just doing exactly what they're told to do. And it doesn't work that way. The best teams are actually like, hold on a second there, boss. I'm not clear. Is that timeline going to work with the entry team, and this dual assault that we got going down? That's what you want. You want people asking questions so that they are clear about the plan so that they can actually go and execute.